So the Skyblivion team have released another developer diary showing us more of that ambitious project, and I have to say, it is looking incredible. The landscapes, the cities, the dungeons, it has all the nostalgia of the original game, but with far more detail and way better models and animations. It looks so polished and honestly ready to play. And the soundtrack. As with Skyrim, they have done such an amazing job capturing the feel of the original game's soundtrack. It just fills me to the brim with nostalgia. But one of the things that grabbed me in this particular video was the user interface, the menus. It, like with the soundtrack and with all of the landscapes they've made, it really captured the feel of Oblivion, but just better, more modern. It seemed to make better use of the screen space for PC gamers, but it still had that old school art style that really it makes you think of Oblivion. And they really do seem to be trying to add a lot of the mechanics that disappeared after Oblivion. They've brought back all of the old skills, the attributes are back. Now actually, when I first saw that, I had a slight feeling of dread, because if I'm being completely honest with you, I low-key hated the Morrowind and Oblivion attribute system, especially around level up time. In fact, believe it or not, that was what originally got me into modding. I ended up looking for a mod to change the level up system. Anyone who's played those games may well remember the stress of seeing the level up message and wondering whether you should sleep yet, trying to calculate whether or not you've actually got all the skill improvements you needed, or whether you needed to sort of put on some armor and go and stand in a swamp and let a rat hit you for an hour. You know those moments of desperately trying to make sure you didn't waste any points? But luckily that is not going to be making a return. You can actually see in the video that you get a fixed amount of points each time you level up, and you can assign them where you see fit. I even chatted to the development team and confirmed that was the case, so that was a big relief for me and any others who have, post-traumatic stress disorder whenever thinking about level up time in those games. They will be adding a perk system to Oblivion, so that's a little more like Skyrim, and they're bringing back the mastery perks that existed in Oblivion. So we're getting attributes, skills, a perk system, and the mastery perks. We're getting a really good character build system. So that is really good news for those of you who like an in-depth character system. Now, the lockpicking system looks a lot closer to the original Oblivion. I mean, it's still a minigame, and you know my feeling on most minigames, but it definitely had that nostalgia factor. Apparently it's very similar to the system they use in the Elder Scrolls Online as well. But it looks very cool, and it's going to distinguish it from Skyrim. Well, at least until we all get the open spell and can bypass that. There was an open spell in Oblivion, wasn't there? Or was that just Morrowind? I hope there's an open spell in Oblivion. Now, they're still looking for more people to help out, especially people with experience modding. They mentioned 3D modeling, for example, especially of cloth. So if you've got any experience and you want to try your hand at working with a big team, this would be an excellent project. That sort of thing always looks good on your resume, but you'll end up interacting with a lot of other modders, and you'll build up a network. You'll be able to use their knowledge. You'll be able to pump them for information. Honestly, it's a great idea if you are a mod author, or if you are wanting to become a mod creator, to be a part of a big team. It's a great opportunity. But I have to say, looking at what they've done so far, I am really excited to play this, and it does look like they're still on for the 2025 release. So whilst it's going to be painful having to wait, the end is actually in sight. Next year, I may be going back to Cyrodiil. Oh, and yes, as with Skywind, I will absolutely be making sure all of my mods work with this amazing project. I am way too excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. Way too excited.